Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Will your child win free education for life? Book a free course.
Okay, we are live now.
Okay. Everything looks good. Hello, Didi. I'll just put my microphone on mute.
Okay, now it's time. It's 10 a.m. Should I start? Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Bioingene Webinar series. Today, it is our 22 webinar in this series, and it's a little bit different. Today, we're talking about the soft skill, which we think is very important for any researcher life or any person life to build his academic career or his own career too. Today, we have I'm very fortunate that Dr. Kankana Ghoshal accepted our invitation second time, because in first webinar, we got so many requests and so many participants that they are very interested to know the uh, the area of soft skill. So we decide that, okay, if possible, then we go for the another soft skill webinar, because that time we cover few soft skill, and today we are going to cover more soft skill. And obviously, when it's come as a skill, and skill is a never-ending things, you can't cover everything by this type of webinar. It's need so many things, practices, and your mindsets and everything. So I request my friend Liberty from UC Davis to introduce little bit our systems and our portfolio under the Bioingene. And I request all participants carefully listen the instructions because it's very important to your certificate collections or attend our future webinar. Then I request Shoma to introduce our speaker, Dr. Ghoshal, and then the talk will begin. After the talk, we during the talk and at the end of the talk, we collect all the questions from the participants from the YouTube chat box, and we try to answer a few of them, and followed by a short interview. So during the question answer round, I will paste the password for the today's webinar in the YouTube chat box only. And those are already registered. They already get the link for the today's certificate application come feedback link. So when you get the password, you have 2 hours to apply for the certificate, and Liberty will instruct you how to do that. So Liberty, please.
Thank you, Shiva. Welcome everyone to the Bioingene Webinar series. The webinar series has been designed to build a platform from where plant scientists can present their research to the world and future scientists can gain perspective and inspiration. We are grateful that the webinars have been appreciated by our viewers from around the world. We have started a new series called the Bioingene Live Discussions. This is mostly a peer-to-peer discussion section dedicated to research in the field of life sciences. This new series is also a part of the Bioingene initiative. The discussions will include important aspects of our research life, like research planning, conceptualizing, methodology designing, manuscript writing, finding appropriate journals for publication, scientific communication, national and international fellowships for PhD and postdoc research. You are welcome to join this initiative and participate in these discussions as you would like. Please visit our website to know more and register in the discussion section. You can post your ideas on the topics you want to be discussed in the live sessions. Our next live discussion is on November 7, 2020 at 12 p.m. Indian Standard Time. The topic for discussion will be how to follow journal guidelines on figure preparation for your research manuscript, live demonstration using Photoshop and MS PowerPoint. You can watch this session on our YouTube channel. For today's webinar, however, we have received a huge response from many countries around the world. We welcome all the viewers and thank them for their interest in Bioingene webinars. You can apply for a certificate of participation via the feedback link and password. We have already emailed the feedback certificate application link to the registered participants. And I would like to repeat this because it's very important. We have already emailed the feedback certificate application link to the registered participants. The password will be provided multiple times in the YouTube chat box during the Q&A and interview session. Submission of the feedback form is mandatory to receive a certificate. Please mention the full name of your institute and the full institute address. You can collect your participation certificates after 2 days from our website. Bioingene does not send certificates through email. Please visit our website to register for upcoming webinars. You can connect with Bioingene via Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I would now request Soma to please introduce our speaker for today's webinar.
Hello, welcome everyone. Today is our 22nd webinar, and we're very excited to have this another webinar on soft skills. And the topic is soft skills create a positive and productive work environment by Dr. Kankana Ghoshal. Dr. Ghoshal is a researcher, educator, and a former lecturer at UCLA. She completed her PhD from the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada, followed by postdoctoral training at the University of Southern California, Los Angeles, USA. During her research career, she presented her research work at several conferences and professional meetings and has several publications in peer-reviewed international journals. She has always enjoyed teaching. However, during her postdoctoral research while mentoring her undergraduate students, she realized her passion for teaching and decided to dive deep into the teaching world. To follow her passion, she received extensive training from the University of California, Los Angeles, and the Los Angeles Community College District, which included early and prestigious Project Match Aspire to Teach internship. She carried on her training by becoming a scientific teaching fellow of Summer Institutes of Yale Center for Teaching and Learning and Center for Integration of Research, Teaching and Learning in the USA by demonstrating her commitment to the undergraduate education. As a lecturer at UCLA, she taught a course called Introduction to Collaborative Learning Theory and Practice. She also taught microbiology as a guest lecturer at UCLA and Los Angeles Mission College. Apart from this, she has been leading, facilitating, and participating in several workshops in the USA and Canada on research based teaching practices to advance students' learning and career development. She has expertise in teaching soft skills such as skills and strategies related to collaboration, communication, group dynamics, and team leading, learners' mindset, students' motivation, and mental well being. Her mission is to impart education in a holistic way using research based learning and teaching methods. Her vision is to prepare her students as lifelong learners to be successful in college and beyond. I now request Dr. Ghoshal to please share her screen and let's begin today's webinar.
Thank you, Shoma, for such a nice introduction. I'm very pleased to be here. And thank you so much, Bioingene team, to invite me for second time. So let me share my screen. Uh, my screen is visible? Yeah, okay. So yes, so today is the kind of a second sequel of my first webinar, first soft skill webinar. So on my first one, I covered a few soft skills with growth mindset, and then I think like our audiences as well as Bioengine team like thought that it's important for our students and for their personal and professional life. So that's why they asked me to come another time. So I came today. So today I'm going to talk about like kind of how to create a positive and productive work environment. As I have just said, like it's a sequel of my first webinar. So you can see some like glimpse of my first webinar here. But if you guys want to watch what I have said at my first webinar, please go to Bioingene channel, YouTube channel, and there Bioingene team already posted my first webinars. So, okay. So today I am going to talk about importance of skills and soft skills. And definitely it will be a recap. So I'm not going to spend like plenty of time on that because as I have just said that my first webinar has almost like the whole first part of my first webinar was on importance of skills and soft skills. And so I'm not going to cover this too much today. And then my second point will be like necessary skills for our students or an employee to create a productive and positive work environment in this 21st century. And then I'm going to give a snapshot of 4 soft skills. So let's start with the recap. So first of all, we all have a question like, what do you all want? Like, definitely, we want a happy and healthy life, both in professional life and personal life. But for our professional life, what do we all want? So that's the first question I want to ask you. So if doesn't matter like at which career stage we are at, but we all want a successful career, right? So doesn't matter like whether I'm an undergraduate, I'm a postdoc, graduate students, or I'm a professor, we all want a successful career. And skills like, so when we will build our own career, we definitely like pursue our career with our own like by using our own abilities, our own interest, our own values, right? So in this way we are thinking like, okay, so what skills, what abilities I actually have. So this should be the first question you should ask yourself. So, and you will get one answer that skills are actually the one of the most important factor that will determine like which career path you should choose. So that's why in my first webinar, I have like different scenarios. I have designed different scenarios. I have given some examples like how you can actually choose your career path. But today I'm not going to talk about this. So I'm just saying you the recap, like skills are important to build as well as to maintain a successful career. So, what is a skill? So, it's an ability to do an activity or job well, especially because you have practiced it. So, as just Dr. Mojumdar said at the very beginning, that skills, it's first of all, is a huge thing. Like skills means your ability, right? And also you are kind of gain like mastery on skill when you practice it. So we are going to like I'm going to give you some basic concepts. Those concepts are backed by our research, and our like science. So we are not going to talk about like how to practice those skills today, but definitely you need to practice the skills. I'm going to give you some concept today, but you need to practice. So types of skills. So actually skills are divided into 2 broad categories. So number 1 is hard skill and number 2 is like soft skills. So hard skills is generally what we can say it's kind of a technical skills, like how to run a gel, how to use a microscope. So these type of skills, uh, or how to perform an experiment. Okay, so these type of skills are kind of hard skills. So what are the soft skills actually? So soft skills are actually your personal habits or traits that shape how you work, like by your own and with others. So this is kind of soft skills are kind of personal skills or kind of like your own trait or your own habit. So here I am giving a picture, and definitely, as I have said, you can go back to my first webinar and you can enjoy that by learning more about the importance of skills and importance of soft skills. So here I'm showing like hard skills, like when we have started our career path, as I have said, or trying to build our career, we actually generally like assess or emphasis on our hard skill, on our technical skills. We spend like lots of energy on like practicing our hard skill. We generally ignore our soft skills, but in this 21st century, especially, we need to practice our soft skills too, because soft skills actually balance the hard skills. So here, as I have said, like hard skills, you need to perform technical task in a job successfully. As I have said, you need to do the experiment, you need to run the gel, you need to use the microscope, you need to like use the pipette to run the gel, or you need to extract your DNA. So those all are actually hard skill. But soft skills are actually like when you gain the mastery on soft skills, you improve your work performance and productivity, you enhance your relationships, as well as you can create a positive work environment. So why I'm saying that? So here actually in my here I have just written two things, because on my last webinar, I have designed two scenarios. You can see like scenario one, I have designed a scenario like a PhD scholar in a research lab, what type of skills he or she need. And I have designed scenario two, where I have shown or discussed like uh, how soft skills are helping a candidate when he or she is trying to be a professor. Like what is the importance of soft skills in the candidate selection? So I have designed the scenario in my first webinar. Here I am just saying one thing, just to recap. Like as I have said, when a PhD student entered the lab, he needs to run the gel, he needs to like experiment, like perform the experiment. But just think, like if a PhD student just perform the experiment, okay, maybe their uh, I'm not sure that I think I'm okay. Yeah, because my internet is showing its connection is unstable. Okay, so but I think it's not okay to just qualify how to run a gel or how to perform the experiment, because you need to present your work toward the world, right? To this world. So you need to communicate, like you need to learn how to verbally and how communicate your research to the world, as well as you need to learn like how to collaborate with other labs, or how to collaborate with your team members inside the lab. Also you need to how to talk to or how to interact with your peers, with your group members, with your supervisor. So you need to learn other skills also, like communication, collaboration. And also I know like some PhD, like when we are doing our PhDs, we have sometimes we have lots of projects, so we need to handle multiple projects. So that, and we need to complete those multiple projects in a timely manner. So that means you need to actually be good at time management. So, and also when you are handling like so many projects, as well as you are dealing with your like with your loved one personally, then you can have stress. So you need to learn the stress management too. So in this way, the soft skills are helping you to improve your productivity. And stopping here. You guys can go to the first webinar and see the picture. My slide had pictures so that you guys can understand well. Okay, so now let's see like how, as I have said, that soft skills is very important nowadays in this 21st century. And obviously, soft skills and hard skills now are interlinked and interdependent. So what we are doing, like as a teacher, as an educator, what we are doing, like what we are doing to improve our students' soft skills. So, universities are actually playing a great role worldwide. So, let me show some example. So, some universities are actually embed soft skills into their program curriculum or academic courses. So, what that does mean, like what Miss Majumdar just said, like I taught at UCLA this year. So, when I taught at UCLA, I taught a course. It's called Introduction to Collaborative Learning Theory and Practice. So this is a course like life science, physical science, mathematics, computer science, astronomy, physics, all the like the students from all these streams can come and learn together like how to collaborate and how to be a good group member, a team member in their life. So this courses was dealing how to communicate, how to have your growth mindset, what type of skills you need to like recharge your like kind of battery, like reduce your stress and recharge your battery, how to do a good time management. So these courses are actually teaching this type of skills, like soft skills. Another thing you can do, like I also taught at UCLA as a guest lecturer in microbiology. So I did, like in the microbiology course, we actually added some soft skills. So the content is microbiology, definitely, but we did some like we incorporated some soft skills, like some communication skills, some collaboration skills, and just mix with the content course. So in this way, universities can definitely introduce the soft skills or help students to improve their soft skills. And definitely there are like so many researches are going on the importance of values of soft skills. So teachers who are actually teaching the soft skills or teaching or incorporating the soft skills into their courses, they are actually doing some research also. And definitely there are like so many universities who has like career center or extra guidance center where they are actually continuously arranging workshops or like training where experts are coming and guiding the students to learn to soft skills. So, okay, so my recap is done. And definitely you can go back to my first webinar. And definitely I'm now coming to the second part of my talk. So the necessary skills what are important to be productive and how to be a good team member or a good employee and in a positive way in your work environment. So here I'm showing like the on September 5th, 2020. I this is the um, title of my talk, and on that seminar webinar, I actually talk about the importance of the mindset, right? How to how the mindset how like having a right mindset actually help you to develop your not only soft skills but also your career. And also on that seminar, I talked about the importance of 5 individual soft skills to achieve success in academia. So here I'm just going to talk about a little bit, talk about like mindset. So mindset, as we know, like mindset is kind of like makes a difference in people's life. So mindset is kind of a belief, right? So the belief which distinguish people who are actually going to be successful and who are still struggling to achieve their goal. So these type of this type of scenarios are actually different from each other, and it is kind of like mindset is kind of a determinant of this two type of scenario. Like your mindset is going to determine what type of people you are to be. So here I'm just showing like there are two types of mindset. So we can say like this is a like kind of a huge study from Professor Carol Dweck. She's a professor of Stanford University, and you can have like lots of information from my last webinar. Here I'm just showing you one slide instead of like 10 slides. So you can see like student can have fixed mindset who believe that their basic abilities, intelligence, and talents are fixed traits. And students with growth mindset, they believe actually that their abilities and intelligence can be developed through their learning, effort, hard work, and persistence. And I have discussed a lot about this growth mindset on my last webinar. And definitely I discussed like what is the science, like how research shows that growth mindset is actually working. So you can definitely watch that. So as I have said, like mindset actually shape our life. So that's why we need to have growth mindset or right mindset if we really want to be successful in our career path. So in my previous webinar, I also covered, as I have just said, like 5 soft skills. So the first like the uh, shortcomings of poor communication skills, and like how to improve your communication skills. I also discussed like 3 types of communication skills and what are those types and what are the importance of those types. Then I discussed like teamwork and collaborative capabilities. So I discussed about like how to make a good team, how to be a good team member, definitely how to be a good like how to run a good group dynamics, and what are the strategies of being collaborative person. Then I discussed time management. Like this is a this time management is a timeless like skills. So I discussed about like how to be a good time manager, how to take control of your time, what are the consequences of poor time management, and how to set your goals. So I have discussed all these things. And then I have discussed like stress management, like how to reduce and control your stress, and how to uh, like balance, like how to have a good work-life balance, and what type of stress are actually we are having in our academia, and what are the stress busters. So I have talked about all those things. And then finally, I talked about important emotional intelligence of like you in your life, in your career, you need to actually talk about emotions, or you need to take care of your emotions. Like when we actually talk about our career, especially about career, I'm mentioning repeatedly, especially about career, we are actually talking about IQ, right? Like so we don't actually, we kind of ignore our emotion or emotional intelligence or emotional quotient, like EQ. So Daniel Goleman, he's a biggest, one of the biggest reporter in New York Times. So he actually popularized this idea about emotional intelligence, and how if you want to be a really good employee, you want to be an emotional intelligence champion. So I have talked about emotional intelligence on my last webinar, as well as I have talked about, you can see, like empathy, because as I have said, like we have to continuously collaborate or interact with our peers, with our supervisor, with our juniors, with our seniors, with our like out with outsider in our scientific community. So definitely when we are collaborating or interacting, we need to know what other people are also thinking. We need to respect their thinking too. So I have talked about empathy, which means like how you can understand others, like others' need, others' perspective. So just like, and then you can only like positively talk to them. Okay, so this is kind of empathy. So I have covered the empathy component of this emotional intelligence last seminar. So now today's seminar, I'm going to talk about other 4 skills. So where I have left last time, I just picked up from there. So as I have said, like I have talked about empathy last seminar. Today I'm going to talk about the self side, like yourself. So you know what, like when we are trying to be a good student, when we are trying to be a good employee, we need to know ourselves, right? Like what we want. Like almost all the time, we are ignoring ourselves. So today, my focus actually on ourselves. So let's love ourselves today. Okay. So we are going to learn some internal skills, some personal skills today, like how to know ourselves, how to understand ourselves, how to manage ourselves, how to evaluate ourselves. Okay, so because we are going to talk about interacting with others, collaborating with others, right? Like know others, understand others. But how about us, right? Who are you, right? First, understand yourself. First, understand uh, first evaluate yourself, first ask yourself like how are you, right? So today I'm going to talk about my first skill is self awareness, right? So this is also an element of emotional intelligence. So let's ask, who am I? Okay, so my first skills today is self awareness. The second one is self regulation. So when I know what I want, who am I, what I need, and definitely when I am going to talk to other, then or in a like a um, heated conversation or in a good conversation too, I need to regulate myself, right? Because we can't be impulsive, or we cannot like be disruptive uh, like person when you are in a lab, or when you are in your career. So My second skills is self-regulation, how to control yourself, how to manage yourself, how to interact yourself. And the third one I have selected for today is motivation. So we know like drive or push, we have to have, and it come from like generally should come from ourselves. Sometimes it's come from outside also. But whatever the source of motivation is, we need to be motivated to be successful, right? So that's why I am going to talk about motivation. And definitely, my last skills would be resilience. Why I have chosen resilience for today, I will talk uh, about this later. That's why I have chosen. Okay, so let's start with the self-awareness, who you are, right? Okay, so that's why I have like going to start with Aristotle quote, like knowing yourself is kind of the beginning of all wisdom, right? So what is self-awareness? This is my like kind of you say like one of the favorite pictures uh, in my life. So you can see the picture here. You can see like it's just like taking like kind of uh, like outs like this is kind of like you, and you are seeing you, kind of mirroring you, right? And kind of this picture is kind of saying that who you are, right? Like a friend. So that's why we are going to learn like how to understand and monitor your emotions and reactions. So self-awareness is actually divided into two categories. So the first one is internal self-awareness. So it means like, okay, we want to be successful, but do we know like what is our values, what is our passion, what is our weaknesses, what is our strength? So identify or recognize first your weaknesses, your talent, your strength, your emotions, your motivation, your motivational factors, right? And also your aspirations. So that's why this is kind of like self awareness, you can say, like the foundation for your self improvement. And definitely, when you recognize or you know, like what are your passion or like your strength, aspirations, weaknesses, then when you are working somewhere, just think or judge or evaluate that am I a best fit for this work environment. So kind of like your passion, values, interest, emotions, aspirations kind of like I shouldn't say should, but should kind of should match with your environment. And then external self-awareness, the second category of self-awareness, it means like you should understand like how people see you. So the first one is like how you see you, and the second one is how people see you. But it's after all, above all, it's you, okay? Self. So benefits of practicing self-awareness. So research actually, there are so many researchers have done and also are going on. So I am actually having some sources here, and Dr. Mojumdar asked me to give you some sources. So probably within a couple of days, I will give you some sources also from where you can know about these skills more. So here I am just going to talk about like how uh, self awareness, like how if you are a self aware person, like what are the benefits. So definitely you can be more confident and creative. So why I'm saying that? Because as you know that what you want, what is your passion, what is your strength, what is your weakness, so you have the clarity, right? You have the clarity about you. And to have a clarity in your life is the first and foremost thing. So you know actually what you want. So in this way, when you are self aware, you are actually going, you you don't have any tendency to lie to anybody. You are not going to cheat, you are not going to steal, or you are not going to do anything, because you want that what you need, and you are trying to do according to your need. So you don't have to match with other thing or other person or other environment. So that's why whatever work you are doing, you will do with clarity. And that's why you must be very confident. Definitely, it's saying that practice self control, make the better decision, because again, you know that why you are doing this work. So you have clarity, and that's why you think better. And when you think better, you take better decision. Definitely, you are going to be a better communicator and better listener at your workplace. And ultimately, when people see you that, okay, this person is full of clarity, and this person know that what he or she wants, and he is very like open about that. So then you can have a good positive relationship with other with others also, because they know who you are. You know who you are, and they know who you are. So there shouldn't be any problem, and you can maintain the good relationship at your work, at your family, with your family, uh, ultimately in your life. So there are some strategies like how to improve, or how to build, or how to cultivate your self-awareness. So like it's kind of like there are few strategies I'm going to show you. And again, as I have said, for time management and stress management, when I'm showing the strategies, I'm actually telling you guys, just uh, see that what strategies are working for you, because soft skills is a thing, it's very personal, right? The concept is general, the basic theories are general, researches are also kind of general, but the strategies, it's it's not general. So there are some general or common strategy, we can say common strategies, but it doesn't mean that a strategy is going for is working for you, that means B strategy is also going to work for you. So probably B strategy is not for you, C strategy is for you. So please try to implement those strategies, but it's not that all the strategies are for you. So select some strategies, try for it. Then if you think that no, this strategy is not working for me, shift to another strategies. But here I'm going to show you some common strategies. So the first one is like create time and space for connecting with yourself. So try to have like 15 minutes a day, like every day. This is actually kind of my strategy. I use this, but you can try. So just uh, have 15 minutes every day, your me time. You can say it's your me time. Uh, don't be interrupted with anything. So just you, and you can use your diary or your journal, and try to write down about yourself, like what you are feeling, what do you want today, or what is your long-term goal. So you can like have some time with you because you are your best friend. So definitely try to have 15 minutes a day, okay, and talk to yourself and with your diary. The second one is like kind of practice listening. So when you are going to like have a positive and productive environment, you need to listen to people. And this listening, you can start with you first. So try to talk to yourself and listen to yourself as well as listen to others. So be an active listener. So in my last webinar, one person asked me like, what is an active listening? So active listening is an mindful listening. Okay, so you need to listen to the speaker mindfully. So pay total attention, pay your whole attention to the speaker. Don't like don't give your focus in somewhere else. So when somebody is talking to you, focus on the speaker. Okay, like what speaker is saying. Try to understand what the speaker is trying to say, and trying to have the speaker's nonverbal cues or behavioral cues so that you can understand what he or she is saying, as well as don't judge or evaluate. When you are listening to someone at the beginning, don't judge and evaluate. Okay, so you need to practice listening, active listening, mindful listening. So I'm not sure like who has asked me the question on YouTube, he or she is here today or not, but I hope he or she can have her or his answer. Okay, so the third one is journal your awareness. I have already talked about this. So here I am using some prompts. So you can have few prompts definitely available in the internet. And I'm trying to give you some sources. So here you can see like self-awareness journaling prompts. So when you are spending with yourself in your me time for 15 minutes a day, you can like talk to yourself like what I need, what I want, what I hope from myself in my life, what I feel, what I wish, what I believe. So this type of journaling prompts you can use in your diary or in your journal. And then definitely monitor your self talk and minimize the impact of negative self talk. So here I want to say something like about self talk. So I'm not sure like audience how many of you actually know about self talk, but I just want to give some idea about self talk. So just think like what research shows us or research tells us. Research actually tells us like there are 50,000 thoughts. I'm talking about self-talk, but first I need to talk about our thoughts. So thoughts and talk, they are two different words. Okay. So first start with the thought. So there are like kind of 50,000 thoughts are coming to our head every day. So it's not my word, it's research says that. And we are, and these 50,000 thoughts trying to like give some positive or negative emotions in our head every day. But we can only recognize those thoughts which has the more influence on us or more related to us. So then these thoughts, like what thoughts have more influence on us, these thoughts are actually talking to us So thoughts are actually talking to us. And this talk is actually going inside our head with those positive or negative emotions. Okay. So that means this is self talk. So our inner voice or our internal voice are actually continuously chatter, right, inside our head. So this is called self talk. So it's thought, when thoughts are talking to us, it's talk, and it's self talk because it's inside your head, right? So there are two type of talks continuously are going on, like two types of thoughts, right? One is positive and the other one is negative. So that's why we say positive self talk and negative self talk. So it's a continuous dialogue running our head. So here I can show you one picture. One of my very good friend, she has given me this picture. So you can see like a demon and an angel. So demon is also inside our head. Demon is also dwelling inside our head, and also so that angel. So the demon is actually a representative of our self negative talk, and the angel is our self positive talk. So these two talks are actually dwelling inside our head. But this self talk, like positive self talk or angel self talk, are actually trying to motivate us. It's, it's telling us, okay, you can do it. No worries. You probably, this is a time, this is not a good time for you. Probably you have a setback from your experiment, or your grade is not good this time. But this time it's not good. But that doesn't mean that you cannot have a good grade in future. So your angel is talking to you inside your head. But your demon, he's going to talk to you like, you know what? You got this grade, you are done. You are just done. You cannot get a good grade in your whole life. You are done. You are finished. So now what we should do then? We actually try to minimize this self negative talk, then calm down ourselves, talk to your self positive talk, and then try to figure out what are the strategies or what are the learning or what are the studies you are going to do for the next time to get a good grade. So, in this way, you can actually minimize your self talk, like negative self talk, and trying to like uh, emphasis on your positive self talk. Okay. The fifth strategy is practice mindfulness. So, mindfulness, we probably nowadays, the mindfulness is a buzzword. So, in almost every social media or in almost every, like anywhere you can open the internet and you can see mindfulness, this word. So, I'm just going to try to explain a little bit of mindfulness. So, this is kind of your inner state. So, when you are just focusing on yourself, like focusing on your breathe and trying to accept those thoughts and talks, but just trying to, after listening to them, after acknowledging these thoughts and talks, you are actually trying to focus on your breathe, and then you are trying to calm down yourself. So when we teach at UCLA this class, we have like 2 to 3 meditation sessions. We actually like helping our students to practice mindfulness in the class. So practice mindfulness, you can have more focus on yourself. Then the sixth one is recognize your strength and weakness, as I have just said, like few slides before. Like definitely know what is your strength and what is your weaknesses, because strength is good. Strength, you can like improve more, but try to work on your weaknesses, because research shows that like when you are trying to work on your weaknesses, actually, and having someone with you who is honest to you or who is actually care for you, getting some feedback from he or she, that when you are like when you are working on your weaknesses, then you can improve. So try to get some feedback and working on your weaknesses. You will improve. Yes, for sure. And then the seventh strategy is question your decision before you commit, because sometimes when we actually uh, take decisions, uh, we actually take the decision in a hurry or in a rush. But when you are actually going to take some decision, try to write down three good reasons. Okay, so three good reasons that why you are taking this decision. Then think on that. Think on these three reasons. Okay, like for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, like what will be the impact of each reason on my life. I'm going to give you an example here. Like, suppose you have three projects or two projects in your plate when you are doing your PhD or your postgraduate. And both of them are actually very lucrative, very attractive, right? If one is good, one is bad, the decision is easy to take, right? Oh, the bad one, we just discard the bad one. But if there is kind of like both of them are good, like one is like 99 and the other one is 100. So it's very hard to differentiate between these two projects, what projects I should start first or what project I should move on. So then still you can write three reasons for each project. And then you can dwell on that, you can sleep on it, you can think on it, like what these two projects or the reasons for these two projects have their impact on us. So then you can decide like what should be your priority, because as I have said, like in my last webinar, multitasking is not recommended. If it's if like if you don't have any choice, it's okay, but it's not recommended because we only can focus on one thing at a time. So you actually cannot focus on your both project at a time. Believe me, trust me. You need to do one by one. At least you need to start one before than the other. Okay. So just that's why you need to think like which project you are going to start uh, first, and you need to think about the reasons and what impact they have in your life. And the eighth, I have already talked about it, like say, like seek the feedback, seek for help. So ask for feedback, seek help, seek feedback from who you can trust. Okay, so they can show you or they can talk to you about your weaknesses, about your improvement, because without feedback we cannot do anything. Trust me, we need to have feedback, but you need to be sure like you need to get the feedback from someone who you trust. This is important, who you trust. Okay, so now the second one is self regulation. So I have talked a lot about self awareness. So now you know who you are, right? Like what is your strength, aspiration, passion, motivation, all these things you know now. Now the thing is that how you can regulate yourself, how you can manage yourself. So Self-regulation is the control, is the ability, your skills to control and manage yourself and not yourself. What the in the deep down, manage your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your action to achieve your goal and respond to the environmental factor. Now the environment is coming. Okay. So you need to actually manage your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So, why I am like making these three words in bold? You can see like feelings, thoughts, energy, definitely energy. Energy is all. Okay. And as a biologist, we all know we have just limited amount of energy. And all of us have the same amount of energy. But still, somebody is way up there and somebody is still struggling. So those are the reasons uh, that why somebody is struggling and somebody is way up there. So now you have to control your feelings, thoughts, and actions. Okay. So these emotion, thoughts, and actions or behavior are actually interlinked. Okay. They all link together. Let me elaborate on this. So here I'm showing a concept. Okay. So in this picture, you can see, I will first start with the right hand side of the slide. So you can see like professional goal achievement and success. So your behavior, what type of action you are actually taking is affects right your professional success or your professional goal. So, and this behavior is actually helping or led by emotions. So, if we just start from the situation now, so situation or experience, like a situation which we cannot control, because this blue color situation, it's sometimes it's just come to us, right? Sometimes we don't have any control over situation. But after this situation, we can control every step, every step. So here I'm giving you one example, like it's adapted from Cornell University. So here you can see like somebody just criticized you at work. So your thought, this criticism actually led you uh, s- uh, like generate some thoughts inside you. So suppose I am not good enough, right? What goes through your head? So I'm not good enough. These thoughts, self-negative thoughts, okay, or self-talk, self-negative talk, or negative thoughts. These negative thoughts or self-negative talk is actually, you can see like here is like quote unquote, means somebody is talking to you. You is actually you, right? Your negative you. It's saying, I am not good enough. Then these thoughts actually generate emotion. Emotion, like what you feel, how you feel. You feel worthless and anxious. Like, okay, I'm done. I'm done for the day. You got anxious and you feel that you are worthless. You are not going to do anything in your life anymore. So then these emotions actually lead you to do some or take some behavior, sorry, take some action. Okay. So you are going to show some uh, like negative behavior. Like you isolate yourself, avoid contact with others. Because one person criticized you, you are going to avoid with everybody, right? And then your professional goal or success or achievement will be gone. So you can see like how this professional goal achievement or success are actually related with this whole pathway. Now, So that's why I am giving, like showing with reverse arrow. But what you should do then? You have some strategy, right? You can do something. You are going to self-regulate. You are going to self-regulate your thoughts, your emotions, and when you are going to self-regulate your thoughts and emotions, definitely your behavior will be self-regulated, and you are going to get your success back, or you are going to achieve your goal. So that's why we definitely need to regulate our self negative talk, negative thoughts, negative emotions. So, definitely, when we are going to do these thoughts and emotional control, our behavior will be changed and we will achieve our goal again. So here, for example, I am quoting two person here. So one is Christine Casper, what she said, like if we are in a heightened state of agitation or anger, we cannot make good decisions. We cannot reason well. Okay, so when just remember, I think those are the things like we feel every day when we are at our anger stage or angry stage or sad, we cannot take good decision. That's why our parents or our seniors or our peers sometimes tell us, calm down, take a deep breath, calm down, right? Because we cannot take good decisions when we are angry. Then another person who has actually written a very good book on emotional intelligence, he wrote like good decisions require far more than factual knowledge. They are made using self knowledge, which is self awareness, and emotional mastery when they needed most. They are needed most. So you need to know yourself, like self aware, and also you need to self regulate yourself. When you do these two, or you gain the mastery on these two, only then you can take the good decision. Because it never happens in our life, right, that we are not going to have any heated discussion or any unpleasant moment in our lab or in our career. It's it's coming with life, right? This is life. So definitely we need to control ourselves. So let me talk to you about the science, like the neuroscience, brain science, like why we are saying all these things, because it's all is in our brain. Okay. So in this book here, I am showing a book like what I have just said. I have taken I am I okay? I'm not sure. Okay. So so here you can see like what our brain is doing here, like how our good decision, our rational brain, our decisive brain, and how our emotional brain are connected so much, how they are communicate with each other, and why I am saying from last 15 minutes that control your emotion, manage your emotion, because it's in our brain. Okay, so let's start, like how your emotion and your decision are actually communicate with each other. So you can see this picture, you can see like the emotional intelligence pathway or the sensation or the sense which we get from the outside, like the trigger, it starts from our spinal cord and it's traveled through this this part, like our emotional brain or limbic system, to the frontal lobe of our brain. So you can see this is the frontal lobe, our brain. So this is like this part. Okay. So this is the frontal lobe or this part, like the this part of our brain, and the limbic is here. So you can see like when the signal like any event you just came across, is traveling through your brain. And before reaching to the decision brain or rational brain, we can say this part, frontal lobe is our rational part, right? We take all our decisions from here. So this frontal lobe where rational processing happens, before reaching this, if the event or your signal got stuck in the emotional center, then your rational brain cannot see this signal. So the brain is going to take the decision only based on the emotion. There is nothing like emotion, like rational thinking. Okay. So we need to make sure that we have to balance between these two brain part. We need to like let the signal goes to this frontal part of the brain. Okay, so that our rational brain can also take some decision about your experience or about your situation. So we need both parts of the brain. We need rational part of the brain, and we also need emotional part of the brain. So our brain is actually designed in this way. So we cannot do anything, right? Except learning about self-regulation, practicing self-regulation and self-awareness, and gain mastery on that. So that's why here I'm giving a picture of uh, uh, like this is another research. So here we call it zones of regulation. Okay, so here you can see some picture of the uh, emotions. So before taking any decision or before doing any work, talk to yourself. Okay, just talk to yourself. Like, which zone am I in? Right? Which zone? Like, what zone I, because you know what, before having some good decision, or before going to, when you are going to do some good work or important work or any type of work or any meeting or any collaboration, you need to be on the go zone, like the green zone. That's why, like, who have discovered these zones of regulation, he actually made it like a traffic light. So when you are in the blue area, blue emotions, then it is your rest area. Then if you feel like hyper, confused, upset, you must be slow down, right? You must slow down. It's a signal that's slow. And then you are like frustrated, mad, yelling, or hitting someone. Before hitting, actually, don't hit anyone. Before hitting, stop. So it's your red light. When you feel that you are on the go zone or green zone, then actually you are good to go. So, and how you can turn this red, blue, and green to, yellow, red, and blue to green, I'm going to show some strategies. So before that, this is kind of like what type of skills or habits a self-regulated person possesses. As I have just said, like stop, think, act. Okay, so self-control. So try to, like, don't be impulsive, or don't take any decision, or don't talk to your supervisor or with your friends or peers or with anyone, even with you, actually, with you, because today is all about you. When you are in an impulsive mode, not in a rational mode. Okay, so there is a difference. Like these are two extreme things. One is impulsive, the other one is rational. So try to be on the rational part, not in the impulsive part or disruptive emotion. So try to control yourself. Okay, feel your self control. So that's why before taking any decision, stop, think, and then act. Okay, and now we know the pathway of this thought, emotion, behavior, and how to reach our goal. Then the number two skills a self-regulated person possesses is dependability. So why I'm saying these things like dependability? Because you can see like we actually in we actually can say in for a person sometimes it's a very colloquial thing that oh, I know that if this person commits once, he or she is going to do that. But if this person is going to commit, probably he or she is not going to do that, or probably this person is going to break his commitment. So we know others actually, right? So this is like kind of dependability. The concept of dependability comes from there, because dependability means like only commit to someone or something when you know that you are able to do it, or you are able to accomplish this work. Then only commit to one thing. And as I have just said in my self-awareness slide, that write down the reasons, right? Write down the reasons of your work, why you are trying to pursue this work. If you know that you actually want to do this work or finish this work, then you can commit and you can fulfill your commitment. So you will be the dependable person, and people will see you as a dependable person. Then the number three is adaptability. So here, definitely, I can give you an example, which is pretty easy example. And I think everybody now is adaptable kind of, because uh, our our whole system, learning system, or this type of seminar system, all of them were kind of seminar or in-person communication or in-person teaching or in-person learning. Now all of us are actually shifted to online. So when the new situation came, COVID-19 came, all of us are actually very adaptable person. We are still learning, we are still teaching, we are still coming, we are still communicating, but through online. So we adapted ourselves to this online mode. So pat ourselves, we are very adaptable person. We are showing the adaptability. So because we are actually very flexible to this new situation. Then the fourth one is optimism. I am showing this picture because almost all of us know these things. It's nothing new, because we all are very positive. All the researchers are very positive, because rejection of our paper is a kind of a common thing in our life. So like this positive, like looking at the positive side, looking at the reviewer's comment, working on that, trying hard, trying to submit this rejected paper to another journal, or working on the reviewer's comment and then go back to this journal, submit it, resubmit it again. So this type of thing we are doing, like in our life. All the researchers are doing these things. So we all are optimistic. So from here, you can see that we all are kind of have this type of self-regulated person skills. So we all are optimistic, and then we are adaptable too. So now the fifth skills a self-regulated person have that is active listening and communication. So I have talked about active listening already. So here I'm not going to talk much. Then the sixth one is conflict resolution. So what is conflict resolution? So I think, okay,
It's okay now.
okay. So then this conflict resolution, definitely it's a skills. So there are 5 types of conflict resolution. I'm not going to talk about it, but definitely a self-regulated person, as he knows like himself, and he knows like how to control first himself and then control others. Because if you want to manage others, you need to manage yourself first. So a self-regulated person can only resolve conflicts because he or she can take the rational decision. So again, I'm talking about rational decision, right? Calm yourself, or then try to get your signal be into the uh, decisive or rational part of your brain, and then think about others, and then resolve the conflict. Now, seventh one is problem solving and innovation. So here they are trying to, the self-regulated person, they know themselves and they are very good learner, and they are trying to find new ways. So these new ways, new ideas, when they are seeing these new ways are coming, new ideas are coming, they become a very good problem solver. So suppose one experiment is not working, so you are going to search for other resources or other kind of chemicals or other way of designing this the same experiment with a little bit of change. So you are adaptable, as well as you are innovative, as well as you are good problem solver. And then the eighth one is time management. Definitely, as you know yourself, you know how to manage yourself, your own self. You know what time you need to work, what time you need to take rest, what time you need to have some fun. So you know yourself and manage your time according to your schedule. And when you are going to work, you are going with full focus, right? So time management will come with a self-regulated person. So this is kind of few strategies I'm showing here. There are again many more strategies, but I have chosen 7, and I'm going to like share the sources with Dr. Mojumdar. He is going to share with you guys. And then the first one, I'm just going to talk about the first one because this is the very our brain requires 20% of our uh, oxygen, like total oxygen. So here you can see, like, if and this 20% of oxygen, from this 20% of oxygen, brain first use this oxygen to our to control our basic function, like our sight, our feel, like our like breathe, etc. But the rest amount of the this 20%, what is left, these are only used to think and your mood change, your mood repair in this type of work, which is complex process. So if you are not actually breathing right, like if you are breathing shallow, or if you are not breathing like a consistent or consistently, or deep breathing, or good, like good amount of oxygen, your brain is actually deficient of oxygen. So then your brain only try to um, work with the low amount of oxygen, and it will try to work with the basic stuff rather than your thinking, like rational thinking. So that's why it said that breathe right. So that's why when we got agitated, we got angry with something, you can see like your like the other person opposite to you can say, okay, take a deep breath, right? Because he or she is actually trying to tell you that take a deep breath means take full oxygen, so that your rational brain, your frontal part of the brain, can have some oxygen to think over the basic actions. So I'm not going to talk about other 6 strategies. So definitely I will share those strategies later. Then my third skills is motivation. So we are motivated because we are here for learning. So definitely we have passion for learning. We are motivated to learn. So we are here today. And also motivation is kind of a internal process or a drive or a push, uh, which actually like by which you can actually accomplish your goal, uh, and you are not giving up anything on the halfway. So you need to have motivation if you really want to achieve your goal. So here I'm actually quoting this motivation definition from Very Well Mind. So here definitely what I'm saying, like this is the driving force to achieve your goal. So here when I was making those slides, I was reading some article, and I really love one article I can share with you. Like they are saying like motive plus action. So it's motivation. So motive. What do you mean by motive? Motive means like the reason, right? Reason behind any work, right? What is the reason? What is the motive? We when we read a detective series or detective stories, we say, oh, what are the motive of this criminal? So what are the reasons? And then plus action. Action means your work, your doing. So what are the reason behind your work? Right? What are the drive behind your work? Why you are actually doing this work, right? As I have just said, like try to write down 3 reasons for in each and every work you are doing, right? Write down the reasons. So what are the reasons? And this is actually your motivation. So importance of motivation is like a motivated person definitely overcome the laziness. He or she can pay attention to the task at hand. Then definitely they fight the procrastination to get started, because if you are not motivated to do something, definitely you are just procrastinate this. You are just delaying this work. Oh, I will do tomorrow, then tomorrow, then tomorrow. Tomorrow will never come, right? That means you are not actually motivated to do this work. So if you are motivated, you don't procrastinate. Okay. So here I'm just showing like what are the consequences of being a motivated person. Like you enjoy your work, you perform task well, you strive to achieve goal because you are motivated. So you are not procrastinating and you are actually doing the work. Then you motivate others, because you know what we are always saying to our students, like try to have a positive peer group. because positive peer group means like everybody is motivated to one goal. So if one person is motivated, it's kind of a contagious. Motivation is contagious. Okay. So one person is motivated, like one person motivates other, this person motivates other too. So this kind of a motivated group or motivated team. So motivate others. And then when your employee or your boss or your supervisor or your teacher is seeing that you are motivated, not only you are motivating others to do or finish the work, you naturally, you will become a reliable worker, or you also be the satisfied worker. And ultimately, you can create a positive and productive work environment by a high level of motivation, because you are not the only person who is motivated. You motivate others. So the whole team is motivated, right? So the whole work environment is motivated. Okay, so as I have said, like motivation. So we all are different. Like from my last webinar, I'm saying these things, like we all are different. So don't try to compare with anyone, first of all. And we all have different motivational factors. So it doesn't mean that you are motivated for your motivational factor will be the same as your neighbors or as your peers. So everybody has their own motivational factors. But the thing you have to do, the most important thing you have to do, just write down the motivational factors, your own motivational factors, right? What motivates you? Okay. Establish your own motivational factor first before doing any work, so that you can come back to these motivational factors and see, oh, I was motivated for this or by these motivational factors. Oh, okay, let's go and start working. So here, the motivational types are broadly categorized by like intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. So what is intrinsic motivation? You can see like this girl is actually working or studying like from inside, right? So this motivation comes from inside. So this is not for external, like she doesn't want to have a good grade. She just wants to learn. So, and or development, personal development. So this type of motivation which comes from within, it's called intrinsic motivation. But for someone, he is actually working for good grades or money or fame or praise. So these type of motivational factors which have external force or external parameter, this is extrinsic motivation. So it doesn't mean that he's bad or she's good, or she's bad, he's good. No, it's not like that. Like what motivational factors you have, right? This matters. So it can come from inside, it can come from outside. Next, there are 4 elements of motivation. Like it's according to Daniel Goleman, when he was doing his research, he is seeing that this type of elements, as these 4 elements, is actually making up the motivation. Like personal drive to achieve. So it's kind of like it's coming from your self motivation. Then when you are committed to a goal, maybe it's organizational goal, maybe it's your personal goal, doesn't matter, but you need to commit to one goal. Then you need to take some initiative. What this initiative means? Initiative means when you are seeing some opportunity, act on that. Okay. And initiative needs courage and risk management. So when you are courageous enough to take something or to act on some opportunities, go ahead. As well as you need to, when you are taking an initiative, you need to think what are the risks, because probably you are the first person who is going to take this initiative. So probably you don't know what are the risks, right? What are the risks coming, right? So you need to calculate the risk before taking any initiative. So try to do some risk management. So courage and risk management is is a combination. Like initiative is a combination of these two. And then optimism. I already talked about optimism before. So those four elements are actually making up motivation. Then some strategies to develop self motivation. So it's kind of like passion. So put passion in your career. So definitely, what is your passion? What this is your motivation. So if you are passionate about something, if possible, you can put your passion into your career, and this career will be awesome for you. But another thing I should say, and I want to say that for everybody, it's not possible. Okay. So everybody is not that much, I can say, I'm not believing, I'm not a good believer of luck, but I can say like it's an opportunity. Everybody sometimes doesn't have the opportunity to work on their passion. Okay. So that's why I can say, like, whatever you are working, try to enjoy. Okay. Because sometimes, like, some people can work with passion, like, can have a career with passion, but sometimes uh, there are, because career is a combination of multiple factors. Okay. Personal factors, professional factors. So every time we cannot get that, but we, if we know ourselves, we can work on that. We can work on our passion side by side. Okay. So then try to have a good routine, as I have said during my time management skills, like definitely try to have a good routine. And then you can set your goals, because goals, setting goal is a element, is an element of motivation. Then definitely focus, because focus is one thing you need to have, and focus means uninterrupted focus. Okay. If you are working some on something, focus on it, pay your uninterrupted attention. So focus your whole energy on that task. If you want to have a, if you want to take a break after few minutes. If you just see my last webinar, I was showing like how to chunk your time, how to block your time, and how to take a break, because some people can work continuously, some cannot work continuously, they need to take break. Both of them are right, both strategies are working, but the main focus is focus. When you are working, pay your full attention to that. Then what's your why? What that does mean is kind of like know your reason, that why you are doing this work. So I have already talked about this reason, like how to write the reason, 3 reasons you need to know behind each of your work at least, and then talk to yourself that how these reasons are going to impact your life. So definitely motivation is the same thing, know your why. And there is a very good video by Simon Sinek. So Simon Sinek is nowadays a big figure, because he has discovered, or he has not discovered, he has shown a concept which is called golden circle. Okay, so he was showing, like, he has a very good TED talks. Okay, so in that TED talk, he has shown like how to fix your why, how, and what. So how to motivate yourself and how to reach your goal, how to achieve your goal. So his name is Simon Sinek. You can type on Google and you can see the why, like the uh, golden circle. Then the last one for self motivation or motivation strategy is do it now. Because as I have said, procrastination can kill us basically, right? So procrastination, you need to fight procrastination. You need to stop procrastinating, because what you can see, like sometimes we have very boring work. All of us had to do boring work in our life. So definitely, but we need to do that, especially for me, like it's my personal thing, but for me paperwork is the most boring work in my life. If you say ask me to study, I can study for hours, but if you ask me to do some important paperwork, I am procrastinating every time. So but now I know the strategies. So do it now means just start. Just start doing this like unpleasant work, and then you can see after a few minutes you are kind of still continuing doing this work. So just start. So just start. And I also talked about it in my last webinar. And then here I have gathered some strategies for motivating students, because I know there are few professors are here. So if they want to see, so there are some strategies for motivating students. And I have taken those strategies from Vanderbilt University, from Teaching and Learning Center. So this is kind of the strategies, like get to know your students in at UCLA or in during my training. I have learned, like, try to recognize your students by their name. So we say you need to know your student's name, because you know what, like this is kind of psychology. When you ask someone or address someone by their name, it's kind of like a happy trigger, right? It's like he or she will be very happy. So, oh my god, he or she knows my name, right? So that's why always we ask at UCLA, like on the very first day of our class, we ask them to make a name tent. So we gave them a paper and they just fold it in triangle shape and they write down their name. And for first few weeks, whatever answer or whatever responses they are giving to us, we ask them, okay, just raise your name tent, so that we will be habituated with their name. So get to know your students is a very good, get to know their names and talk to them. It's a very good motivational strategies for students. And there are few more strategies I have written here. So if someone wants to know more, they can come to this slide later. Okay. And my last skill is resilience. And I am going to say, like, why I am I am finishing my webinar with resilience, because we all are resilient now. So why I'm going to show you. So what is resilience? So it's an individual's ability to adapt and grow through adversity, bounce back after a setback or disappointment, and still after setback, after disappointment, still we are trying to navigate this setback, navigate this disappointment, and find a constructive way to move forward during the challenging time. And resilience is an integral quality for both academic success and personal health. So now I am giving you some example here. So like the first one is kind of like I know almost all of us know this, but due to this um, like for this seminar, I'm going to say that life may not come with maps. Okay, so everybody like actually like everybody every day have twists and turns. Okay, so from everyday challenges to traumatic events. So what do I mean by traumatic events? Uh, Traumatic events meaning like loss of loved ones, uh, loss of loved ones, then life altering accidents. But our life like don't stop because my mom was my best friend. Okay, so like best friend, and I know uh, many many of you like most of you can probably relate with me. So my mom was my best friend, and when I was writing my thesis, my PhD defense is coming like almost on the way. Like I was like 2 months away from my PhD defense. I was in Canada by myself. My mom passed away. So, so I wanted to go to her. She was diagnosed by last stage of cancer. So I lost my best friend just after my PhD. I defended, and then I went back to her, and I lost her. So, so it's loss of loved ones. But still, when I was dealing with this, my supervisor told me to take some pause, think about this. I went to India, and then I was with my mom for one whole month, and then came back and then start writing again. So my supervisor asked me to go to India because my supervisor told me, if you are not seeing your mom, then you probably cannot finish your PhD. So go, stay with her, feel her, have her, and then come back and finish your writing and defend. So then I came back. I finished my PhD with flying colors. I published the papers, everything, and then after getting my PhD, she passed away. So this type of loss of loved ones definitely can come to your life in any part of your life, but we still need to be resilient, and these type of changes affect people differently, but uh, resilient people adapt definitely uh, well with this time, with these bad times. Next, I'm setting an example here for like uh, a lab environment. So we all know our experiment fails like thousands time. Probably it worked one time and 99 times it just failed. So we all see setbacks, right? We all see experimental frustration. We all have experimental frustration, educational frustration. But resilient people ultimately deal with that, move forward, navigate this road, and moving forward through this like bad times or setback times. And this is the reason why I'm showing you guys the resilience resilience skills or resilience ability, because we all are resilient. Because what is happening with us for last 8 months, we all are actually practicing resilience because we didn't stop, right? We are moving, right? We are actually celebrating ourselves. So we all are actually practicing resilience. We all are developing resilience. So we just bounce back. We didn't. We are protecting ourselves from COVID, and we are doing our own work. So we are resilient people actually. Then I'm going to show 4 skills or goals, like skills areas or goals to improve your resilience. The first one is social engagement. So definitely cultivating social connection during this, if you want to be resilient, if you want to navigate through the bad time, try to cultivate social connection and avoid social isolation. So, because it's good for your emotional well being and academic performances. So, what are the strategies? You can find ways to connect your peers, like you can have positive peer groups, and you can have supporting family members with whom you can share your uh, like sadness or your bad times and get some uh, advice from them. Then definitely the second point is kind of impossible now, but still it's a um, good one. That's why I'm keeping here. So after COVID, definitely we can meet each other again. So interact with face to face, with others face to face, then start conversation, ask questions, and be an active listener. And definitely get to know your professors. This is for students, and for professors, get to know your students. The second one is like, again, what was my first skill, self-awareness. So you can see now, right? Like self-awareness is connected with self-regulation is connected with motivation, and all of these skills are actually connected with resilience. So all of them are like kind of personal or internal skills, and all the skills are actually interconnected. So now this is kind of self-care. So taking get good care of your emotional and physical health, because we sometimes when we are kind of having the problem, we can take care of our physical health, but we most of the time we ignore our personal or sorry emotional health. So take care of your emotional health too. Then there are some strategies I have jotted down here. So you know about like kind of meditation, getting enough sleep, doing journaling. I am continuously saying practicing journaling, and then practicing gratitude. And then third number is like attention and focus. And fourth number is like attention and focus. And fifth number is focus your attention you need. Okay. Mm, and then there are some strategies. So definitely listen to music. Uh, am I audible?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
audible.
Okay. So definitely listen to music and practice deep breathing exercise, practicing meditation. And here I have written one thing like natural soundscapes. This is my personal strategy. So when I am like, I'm, I feel when I feel that I'm not focusing on something, I am not paying full attention to something, I actually listen to nature soundscape like ocean, ocean waves, the sound of ocean waves, the sound of birds. So, and the like sound of like forest, and it actually helps me a lot. Like this is kind of my strategy. So listen to natural soundscapes. And the last one is finding meaning. So I wanted to finish with this slide because finding meaning, and
চারটে question আছে
I am here. I can show you like the making sense of or exploring the significance of your experience or situation. So definitely understand your purpose, definitely understand your values, skills, and interest, and on that basis, you make your purpose or you fix your purpose, and definitely embrace change and reflect, self-reflection. Do some self-reflection on what strategies are working and what strategies are not working. So in that way, you can finding meaning of some of your work. And the key takeaways for our today's seminar is kind of today we are talking about like personal skills or internal skills. So definitely first and foremost criteria to be a productive person, to make your product work environment positive, know yourself, and then regulate yourself, motivate yourself, and definitely bounce back at the time of adversity. And for the key takeaway from both seminars is kind of like on gaining the mastery of soft skills, you can you can develop positive ways to relieve stress, overcome challenges, diffuse conflict, and ultimately you can lead a productive, healthy, and happy personal and professional life. So I'm acknowledging my UCLA Teaching and Learning Center and my Project Match internship. Also, many thanks to Bioingene team and Ms. Madhuvanti Datta and Dr. Basudha Ghoshal for helpful discussion and feedback on my slides. Okay, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to yourself, talk to you again. Okay.
It is our pleasure actually that we could get you for another time. It's a second webinar on soft skills, and many of our viewers have appreciated. I was just watching the chat, they really appreciated it. So it's a fruitful event. So I can say that. And we have some questions in the chat.
Okay.
I have some. I mean, there were many questions, but it's. We picked out some of them.
Okay.
Can you see that chat in the chat?
Yes. I can see. So I can see that. Very good question. I think Pavitra Joshi asked me that my negative side always predominates my positive side. Like it's our like this is our problem actually. Like all of us, like 100, like every person has this problem while self-talking. Why is this so? Very good question, Pavitra. Thank you for asking me this type of question. So it's kind of like it's called automatic self-talk. So automatic negative talk, ANT. So if you Google ANT, you can see that ANT, automatic negative talks. And you are actually kind of like prone to that, or we have a tendency to do that. Here I want to mention like one thing, like what I have learned from my mentors and my teachers. Like it's kind of a like non-violence communication and violence communication, trying to um, distract ourselves. So here we can have a jackal and giraffe story. So definitely you can have this type of you can overcome the self negative talk thing by doing more resiliency practice. But you can have you can have a story is called jackal and giraffe story. So we actually are kind of jackal side, because it's kind of like we are actually trying to attack ourselves continuously. This is our primary tendency. But we need to be a giraffe, right? Means you need to not to do it. So you you need to practice like how to become a non-violent communicator from a violent communicator, because we are kind of violent communicator. So this is not your problem. This is kind of all of our, like all of us have the same type of problem. But you can practice the self resiliency skills to overcome this. Okay, so another question, can I choose?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, okay. So, okay, great question. Musa Said, ma'am, when you lost your beloved mother, yes, what are the things that motivated you to move on? Yeah, I'm crying actually. What type of question you asked? Thank you for asking me this question. I'm currently in similar situation and my PhD is at stake. Thank you. Thank you so much, Musa, for asking me this question. Yeah, like my mother's uh, wish to see me as a PhD, like as a doctorate. So when I was really in depression,
Mm.
in a depression condition and depressive, my like I was. It's a feeling that I lost everything. Like I don't want to even live without my mother. But then my husband, my father, my sister, my beloved other other person in my life, my support system, they told me, they actually made me remember like why I'm doing the PhD, what I'm doing my PhD, because of my mother's wish. So as they know my mother's wish and my motivational factor is to fulfill her wish, I finish my PhD. So that's why what I'm saying you guys, like to write down like why you are doing this work, why you are motivating to do this work. So my motivation was my mother's wish. So my mom passed away, but I fulfill her wish. So that was my motivational factor. Okay. 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 Yeah. So I think uh, one question, it's a very good question, but I can I can definitely I can definitely talk about this with Dr. Majumdar and Ms. Roy. Omari wrote, like, respected ma'am, how these skills help in some events like personality test. It's a very good question. I actually took my personality test and it helped me a lot, actually. It helped me a lot. And thank you so much for raising this question, Omari, because I cannot exactly uh, remember the name of the website, but they actually conduct free personality test. So I first took this test. It helped me a lot to become self aware. And then I asked all my beloved ones to take the test, and I got the same. They all of them told me that this is a very good test, and this test actually help you to become a self-aware person. Like so definitely I will share the name of the website. I cannot remember exactly now, but I'll share the website with Dr. Majumdar. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm. Um, are there any more questions that you want to take?
Um, how much time
Or
Uh,
we can move
I
on to
have?
yes,
interview.
I think so. We should move to the interview
Okay.
session. We have
Okay.
collected all the questions from the YouTube chat box and with the compliment and suggestions too. We will send you all the questions. If it possible, we can answer and or we can give the link during the description box after
Mm-hmm.
2 days. So I request Shoma to
Mm-hmm.
go for the interview session. And there is a short announcement. I think those are the registered participants and have the link. I already shared the password. Please submit your form. During the submission, mention the full name of your institute. Don't mention the abbreviation. Second thing, when if you not receive the link due to any technicality, because sometimes you entered a wrong email address or there is some alteration during the email address and we are unable to send the form. So I request when you uh, when you get the password which is already shared, email us with the password and the response copy. We'll send you the feedback link by email. Thank you. Shoma.
Yes. So, first of all, I want to say is that it was an amazing and very heartfelt webinar session. I really, I, am I on mute?
No, no, no. I can hear you.
Okay. So no, sometimes it happens. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. It was
Yeah.
beautiful and it's much needed. You know, the points, the topics that you covered, they are so much in need because we hardly ever focus on ourselves and how we will do the work. We only focus on the work at hand and how
Mm-hmm.
others are doing it. We try to compete,
Yeah.
but we have to look at ourselves,
Yes.
that the person, I mean, we are the one who is doing the work. So if
Yes.
we are not, you know, at our 100% or
Yes.
at our best self,
Yes.
that can never happen. We can never reach our goals. So it was amazing, just beautiful. And um, and after listening to you, I'm sure even we didn't get the time in our first webinar for on soft skills, the last time that you visited. So this time we are not letting you go without knowing a little bit about yourself, because you are a motivation
Okay.
to so many. You are a motivation to me, and definitely you are an inspiration about motivation to me, and definitely I'm sure many of the people around the world relate to you, and they are inspired by your words. So if you could just say a little bit about yourself and about your academic journey, uh, that
Mhm.
will great. We would love to know about you.
Okay. Thank you, Shoma, for such a nice appreciation. I am, as a teacher, as an educator, my passion is to help others. So definitely, if I see that I am helping a little bit or making a difference in somebody's life a little bit, I am honored. So thank you. And definitely for my academic journey, like I started my schooling from a Bengali medium school, like a regional school. And then I went to uh, a college in Kolkata, Srinath College. And then from there, I went to Calcutta University, Baligan Science College to complete my MSc. And definitely from there, I went and then I started my research work in Professor Shapan Kumar Datta's lab, uh, which was one of the best lab I have ever seen in my life. So definitely I have learned what is research over there. And I am very grateful to sir and definitely ma'am, Professor Karabi Datta, his wife. And they both of them were very inspiring to us, and we learned research from them. And then we got a chance to do our PhD in abroad in Canada. So I went to Canada to finish my PhD at UBC, University of British Columbia, um, Canada, Vancouver. And there I got my supervisor, my supervisor name is Dr. Deanne Roshan. So she's the she's the a nice lady, first of all, like what I am today. So I actually got very good mentors in my life. So, and uh, they actually helped me to become what I am today. So Diane actually, like what I'm saying here, like I can say a nice story about Diane. That's why I'm so much motivated to share the personal skills and personality today, because I actually love to wear kurti. Like I love this because I was not like 12 years ago when I came to Canada, I was not comfortable in jeans and t-shirt. So I wear kurti at that time. I was comfortable by wearing kurti. And my supervisor, my Canadian supervisor, told me, you know what, Konkona, if you really want to wear kurti, and if kurti makes you comfortable, and you can just focus on your research work by wearing kurti, come with come by wearing kurti. So I think this must be like this type of teacher we need, right?
Yes.
She told me that you need to focus on your work. We don't have to focus on your kurti, or whether you are wearing kurti, or you need to publish. That's our
That's true.
that must be our focus. We are not going to see you, oh, she's Indian, she came from India and she's wearing kurti instead of t-shirt and jeans. And with time, when you are going to the meeting, when we will be here like year after years, then you probably will be comfortable with jeans and t-shirt. So but you need to publish, you need to focus on your work, you need to
Definitely.
fulfill your mother's dream, because
Hmm.
she knows that my mother's dream to like that I should get a PhD, I should do my research. So 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 this is the teacher I got. So then she was my PhD supervisor. So I
You were
was there
lucky.
for I am lucky actually. Probably that's why I want to reach as many students as I can. And Bioengine is giving me such a nice platform to reach out to the students.
Such an honor for us that
Oh,
you are part of Biogen.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. So it's kind of vice versa. And then I moved to Los Angeles, US. Then have started my postdoc work at the University of Southern California, LA. And then when I was doing my postdoctoral research, I got some undergraduate students.
Hmm.
And I like research. Definitely, I love research. But I feel that when I talk to my undergrad or when I like teach someone,
Mm.
I feel like out of the world, like it's kind of like my passion. So that's why I took some time off after finishing my postdoc.
Mhm.
I talk to myself. I read many books, like personal development book, professional development books. I took so many classes on this development, like professional personal development. And then I figured out like what I want to do actually. So then I thought, like I came to the final decision, like actually I want to teach. I
Okay.
want to teach undergraduate students. Definitely, I want to have a lab with undergraduate students where I am going to teach how to do a research to undergraduate students. Like, I don't want to have a big lab where I'm going to give somebody a PhD.
Okay.
So, my life is with undergraduate.
Mhm.
So, I can teach them how to do research, I can teach them how to learn. So I want to work with undergraduate students. So that's why I moved to undergraduate teaching. And then UCLA came, like Teaching and Learning Center came to my life. My life changed. This is the one of the best community I have ever have actually in my life, UCLA Teaching and Learning Center. I got lots of mentor over there. They are literally holding my hand and then trying to teach me like how to teach.
Mm.
So I got my training, I finished my training. I was a part of a very honorable, reputed, very good uh, scholarship. Is LA from Los Angeles Community College District. So there was I also got a very good mentor.
Okay.
So overall, like this is my academic journey. This is my like how I shifted my gear a little bit toward teaching, but
Mm.
definitely I want to do my research, but with undergraduate students. So this is my kind of academic journey in short.
How did you fall in love with the field of soft skills? And is this your passion that you're following?
Um, you can kind of say that because by training, I'm a plant virologist. So when I started my teaching journey, I taught. I took my like teachers training in microbiology.
Mm.
So, but here, as I have said, they are incorporating continuously different types of soft skills into the content course.
Mhm.
So that's why I came to know about soft skills. And then I took lots of training on growth mindset, resilience, motivation, like all this, because they said that in during my teachers training, they said that a teacher should know this type of uh, like thing, like how to teach. And then after after getting the certificate from my internship, like so I was there, I was offered from UCLA a teaching assistantship and then later lecturer on
Mhm.
this collaborative learning theory and practice.
Mhm.
And when I have started my journey in this course, like collaborative learning, introduction to collaborative learning theory and practice, I have seen what a change the soft skills can bring to a student's life.
Mm.
I like I have the evidence because when they came, like in the first day of first week, and when they left the last day of 10th week, they they were changed. So like they know so many skills, they gain so many skills and strategies, how to deal with others, how to deal with themselves. So I thought, oh my God, like I love microbiology. I am looking for microbiology like opportunities still. But definitely, soft skill is my passion. So it's kind of like soft skills like make a big difference in students' life, and I have seen that. Like I have seen that in my life and also my students' life. So that's why I'm passionate about soft skills, and I'm reading every day like different skills, and I'm taking workshops. I'm leading workshops on soft skills. So soft skills is now like a part of my me. Yeah.
Beautiful. What do you think about the necessity for incorporating soft skills in higher education? Considering the Indian education scenario, since we both, some of us have this because we studied in India, so we know a little bit about the Indian education scenario. So, what do you think about the necessity for incorporating soft skills in higher education?
Yeah, it's not only in India, but I think it's worldwide concept. So I think we must incorporate soft skills uh, into the academic course, as well as uh, we need to have some separate course or courses on soft skills, because soft skills as its necessary skills to become a champion in your career, like it's kind of an ultimate goal. It must be an ultimate goal to learn. Like, so I think we should, like every education system should have soft skills training, soft skills workshops, or they should incorporate soft skills. So because this must be the ultimate goal, especially in this 21st century.
Yes. Um, so, how can a college student or a PhD fellow, when we're talking about higher education, and
Mhm.
or anybody in academia, acquire soft skill training? Or actually, I also want to ask is that what does it mean to be trained in soft skill? How can they acquire
Yeah,
the training, and what does it mean to be trained?
to be trained.
Hmm, hmm,
Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, this is a like a kind of a philosophical question. So to be trained, what I mean by that, um, like soft skills. So it has skills. Skills means ability, right? We know that. And so I think when you need to uh, do some work, like the ability to do some work, you need to practice. So, as I have said in my last webinar, like practice, and practice more. So, how much you practice, you will gain the mastery uh, more early, like more rapidly.
hmm,
So, training means and soft skills. On the another point, I should not miss that soft skills is also very personal. Like just I have said in today's seminar,
okay.
there are some common concept, there are some common theory, there are some common research also. But when it came to the strategy, like how to implement the strategies, is very personal.
Hmm,
So what we do actually, or what we should do, like we need to talk to the students directly
hmm,
and try to design some workshops or some training where they can actually talk to the guide or the experts, like what type of strategies they should use on the basis of their personality, on the basis of their problems. So again, there are some common problems, right? But there are some unique problems also. So that's why I said it's need training, right? Because training means you are going to see the expert or your mentor or your guide directly. You can talk to the experts face to face. Like in this webinar, I'm missing the interaction, right? So there are so many questions, and I know there are some personal questions also, but it's not possible. It's kind of beyond the webinars platform to talk to them directly. But in training, in a guided training, you can talk to them directly. So that's why I told her, you told like that, trained, to be trained.
Okay. My last question, or like on a conclusion, in a conclusive way, what would your words of advice be to somebody who initially took up scientific research as a career, but is considering changing the career path to follow his or her passion? I mean, maybe some people face this, and maybe they are hesitant to talk about it because people have expectations. So, I mean, if they initially took up a scientific research as a career, but now they are considering, okay, maybe they understood their final passion, or so.
Mm-hmm.
What would your words of advice be to them, those people?
Uh, Definitely, you can shift your gear of career, but one thing definitely you should think that career also, when you are building your career, when you are um, like managing your career, you have lots of other factors too, like financial, uh, your family, your uh, your own, like own goals, everything. So there are many professional and personal factors. So passion is a very good thing. That's why I said that it's good. It's like it's lucky. Like if someone is lucky if they can follow their passion from the very beginning. But sometimes it's not possible for someone to follow their passion, exact passion. But definitely there are so many other ways or other opportunities so that they can at least follow a part of their passion.
Right, right. Yes.
So a part of their passion, so that's why I have said, like, if you just try to do some work so that which you enjoy. So definitely that will be my advice, like do something that you enjoy. If you can follow your passion, you have this opportunity, that's great. You are really lucky enough. But sometimes it's not possible for everyone. So what they are going to do, they can follow at least a part of their passion.
Such a beautiful experience talking to you, and your words are just did touch the heart. Thank you for being here today, and let's go back to Shuvo, and let's see what he has to say.
Okay.
Thank you, Shoma. Yes. Thank you, Shoma, for the interview session. And thanks to Dr. Kankana Ghoshal. As you realize that how much from the questions, that how much it's important specifically for our education system. It's already established in developed countries, but for the developing countries now, it's very few people know the soft skill. Specifically, those are the in corporate world. They have that type of training, but we are belongs from the
Academy.
academic. So for the academia, there is a need to know the soft skill, and there are a lot of questions. I can relate myself with that, but due to this webinar is long enough, so I not wanted to extend it. It is late night to your country, so there are so many questions which is daily problem of our life. But if we have a perfect training, or for my point of view, if we know that okay, this can be achievable by the training or
Oh,
some the process, some
yes.
process, then maybe we stop blaming others. Then we think ourselves that okay, how to recover from it, because today we got so many questions like how to avoid the negative people, how to avoid the negative thoughts and this type of things. So it's obvious, negativity spread so fast than the positivity. That is the reason that why the negative thinking and negative things are so dominant over the positivity. But ultimately we can gain something with the positivity, not from the negativity. So we have to focus on the positive side of us, as you mentioned in your slide, that we have the two things in our mind, and we have to balance ourselves. So it's a wonderful session. I already received so many compliments. So many people are admiring your voice, your passion, your organizer point of view from the team Bioingene, that by two soft skill webinar, we at least build a build a concept that these are the soft skill, and you are the perfect, you are the plant scientist, and you also doing the soft skills. So it's related to us more. We can do that such training with available professionals, but I prefer in that way that it's for academia. We may miss few soft skill, but don't worry about that, because we are learning in the learning process, and maybe in future, or maybe we can catch you in different other platforms other than the Bioingene, and we can reach to the people. One second. Thanks for coming and joining once again, and thanks to Bioingene team. Thanks Shoma, thanks Liberty, Jacinta and Neha not available today, and thanks also Dr. Vasudev Ghoshal, Ms. Madhamanti, to assist me to collect all questions from the YouTube, and definitely it will help us to understand what we should go in future, what type of training we should try to establish or webinar actually in such a way. And it also help you, maybe you to understand that what is the feedback from your
Yes, definitely. That's why when Shoma was asking me about the training, I said that because I am really, I'm willing to respond all the questions, but this is kind of beyond our platform today, at least. So that's why probably like when we do more workshop or more training, we can talk to them directly.
Yes.
yes.
I'm actually very excited, and maybe if we can arrange, something. So I'm really dying to do that. Yeah, because always, I mean, all my life, whatever I have faced, difficulties I have faced, I really think that people who are junior to me, They should not be facing
Oh,
such
yes.
difficulties.
Oh, yes. Oh, definitely.
If we could help them in some way,
Yes.
so it's
Yes.
somehow it's our responsibility, even if nobody told us to do it, but still
Mhm.
it feels right to do that. So
Feels right to do that.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's what even Bioengine is all about. That
Mm-hmm.
even the discussion sessions that we have started, the
Mm-hmm.
little things that nobody tells us to do, how to do them, those little things that we as like developing in our career, so we
Mm-hmm.
face those little things. Similarly with soft skills, we all share our experiences and be involved in a learning experience. So maybe we can come up with something where we can um, reach out to the whole world, and people can maybe actually we received, even today also in the chat we received such requests that where can I attend a course or a training
Mm-hmm.
from a different country, or so we will definitely try to do something like this for sure, and I hope you will be there to help us with that.
Thank you. That
Let's
will be
see.
my pleasure to do that.
Thank you. Thanks one again. We are going to
Okay.
end this webinar. Thanks
Thank you.
all the participants to
Thank you.
participate
Bye.
this webinar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Soma, it's thanks. Soma, it's so late. Actually, we are two and a half hours in life. But can you just go the website and update about upcoming webinars? That time I can check the YouTube a little bit if there is a problem.
All right, I'll just screen share then. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible, and am I audible? Okay. Yes. Okay, the certificate, right. So as you many of you know that this is our website as of now. It's a temporary website. Hope the new one is coming soon. So here is the page where all the webinar informations are there, the upcoming ones. Our next webinar is on 6th November at 11 a.m. by Dr. Ashwini Parikh from Jawaharlal Nehru University, India. The topic is towards raising crops for saline and dry lands. If you have not registered for this and you want to hear this webinar and you also want a certificate, then I would suggest that you register first, because we will send the feedback form link to all our registered participants. We will collect all the email addresses from our registrations, and we will send the feedback form link to all the email addresses that we collect from the registration forms. Why we are doing this? We are doing this because it's helpful for the speaker. So when the speaker sees that these people have registered, so they see that where are you from, your background. So the speaker can design their talk accordingly, and they can keep in mind, this is my audience, I need to speak this way. They will I need to make my presentation understandable at this level. So it's really important that you give us your information, like you're an undergrad student, which field you are from, all the details that are there in the form. You need to provide them so that the speaker gets a overview of what he needs to bring to that talk that day, he or she needs to bring. And the secondly, we are providing the certificate. So we should know who we are providing the certificate to. We cannot provide the certificate to any random person or to a company. We only have to we only can provide to a valid person. So for our sake, we need to make sure that we are providing the certificate to a correct person. For that also, we need you to fill out the form, the feedback form, so that we can make sure we're not doing something wrong. Okay. So now moving on to how you can collect the certificate. You can scroll and see there on the page there are many upcoming events. So if you want to hear it, you have to register for that. All right. So scrolling down, so there here comes our upcoming live discussion section. So you can see that our next live discussion section is on 7th November. And the topic is how to follow journal guidelines on figure preparation for your research manuscript. There'll be a live demonstration using Photoshop and MS PowerPoint. Note the time. The time is at 12 p.m. Indian Standard Time. You can just click on the world clock and see what time is it at your place. Okay. And definitely you need to register for this. I told you registrations are important for various regions. Please register. And there is also a section in the registration form where you can provide your ideas or what type of topics you want to be discussed in this platform. So that's good for you too. And then scrolling down, here is our live webinar feedback certificate applicants application list. So as you scroll down at the last, the most recent one is at the bottom. So if you want to receive a certificate, the procedure was simple. You get the feedback form, you collect the password from the live chat, you fill out the form, put in your correct email address, because please, it has been an issue in the past. If you put in your incorrect email address, then nothing more can be done. It's the whole process stops there. So put in your correct email address in your correct details, your address of your institute and everything in full, and you put in your password which you collect from the chat, and then you submit the form. After you submit the form, we will receive all the applications, and then we start making the certificates, and we make the PDF certificate PDFs, and we upload it in a shared Google Doc file, and we put it over here. Like for example, for our last webinar was webinar 21 on 19th October. So you can see that the topic name is here, so you don't have a problem finding out for which webinar. So you go to the topic name, and right at the end you see that there's a receive feedbacks. I mean, there's a list. You open that, you find the list with your name. You search for your name, and you can cross check, because there can be more than one people with the same name. So here comes the information comes in handy, because the college name and everything is there. So you can check which is you, and then next to your name there will be a file number. Note that file number, and then go to the certificate link. See, right next to the feedback form, feedback, there's a certificate. Click on that, and then you will go straight into the Google Drive folder. Then you download that file number. That is your certificate with your name on it. It's very simple. And I hope you understand why we did this process, and we are constantly trying to improve and make it better. So it's a learning process for us, definitely. And please also check the website. There are other things also in the website, like there are the poster section, and also we are collecting testimonials, because some of you have shown your appreciation for Bioingene webinars, Bioingene initiatives, which we are doing it completely as a non-for-profit, and for the people, for all the researchers and all the people who want to get into research. So if you have something to say, or if you want to show your appreciation, which we can share with the whole world, please click on the testimonials, and you can click on this, submit your testimonial, and write whatever you feel you want to share with us. All right. I think that's, yes. Okay, so going back to the home page. In the discussion section, you will see that there's a registration form, and there's a topic name, and you can see the upcoming discussion sessions, discussion topics are also there. Like for 7th November, the topic is about the figure preparation for your journal, which is very, very important. The figures are the soul of the paper. Okay, so that's very important, and it's going to be discussed on 7th November. Please, the registrations are open. Please register, because it is important for you to register so that we get an idea about the audience. Also, on 17th, on the next topics that are coming up are how to find appropriate journals for publishing or research, about plagiarism and its removal process through free online tools. So very relevant topics are going to be discussed in these discussion section, these live discussions of bioimaging. And we hope we can help those who are in need of help. So um, I think if you have any more questions, or you can definitely contact us if you have if you have ideas, you can share with us. If you want some things to be discussed, you can please write to us. In the registration form also, there is a place for you to write. All right, so I'm stopping my screen sharing now and going back to Shubho. Okay.
Thank you, Shoma. Now we are going to end this webinar. Thanks for watching. We're our next webinar on 6th, and we have a discussion on the 7th. Registration is mandatory, as Shoma says, and this is now we try to maintain. Thank you. As soon as end my meeting, it will stop the live feed on YouTube and also in the Zoom. See you in the next webinar on 6th, and I will put all the source link provided by today's speaker in the description box. And after a few days, I will upload the trimmed version of this webinar and just cut it out, all the instruction and these sessions. So thank you.